Hi everybody, I'm going to show you how to set up for painting in the classroom. So the first thing you guys are going to do is you're going to pick one person from your group to walk over here to the back counter and pick up supplies for everybody. That person is the table manager and they are the only ones who get up out of their seat to get all of the supplies. That way we don't have 35, 36 people wandering around the classroom. Okay, so whatever table number you have, you're going to come up here and you're going to grab one of these paint bins, and then you're going to get 4 paper towels, however many paper towels you need. You don't need to pump out an entire roll of paper towels. Just 2 pumps is enough. If you need more, you can come back and get more paper towel. You need 2 containers of water for the table. You don't need to fill up the water container all the way to the top. In fact, just fill it up like about 2 inches from the bottom. That way the brushes aren't completely immersed in the water, just like the lower part. And then you're going to need brushes. You're going to pick up 4 paint brushes from this container, 1 for each person in your group, and 4 palette knives. And 4 magazines. You need to take the entire magazine to your table, not sheets of paper. So there should be plenty of magazines in here for everybody in the class to use. And then you stack all your supplies like this, and you can carry it all to your table. Okay, once you get all your supplies back to your group's table, you want to take out all of the paint containers and put it underneath the table itself. And then you're each going to have your own magazine, and you're going to set up your palette. So we're only going to be mixing with primary colors, black and white. So this is how you need to set up your palette. Okay, the magazine is going to be where we lay out the colors and where we mix the colors. So we're going to put our colors in light to dark order. So we're going to lay out a little dab of white. You don't need a lot of paint. You're not painting a mural. You're painting very small little squares today. So don't worry about pulling out a ton of paint. Every time you take paint out, you're going to use your palette knife and you're going to wipe it and clean it off before you put it into another color. So the next color I want to put down is yellow. At the end of the period, you guys need to check that all your colors are cleaned out. If they're not, you need to clean them out, otherwise your group will get dock points for the use of materials. Okay, and from time to time you're going to want to get some fresh, clean water. You don't want to mix your colors with dirty water because all of the pigments that go into this cup will start showing up into your other mixtures. Okay, so now we're going to start mixing. And the first thing we're going to practice is mixing and creating a value scale with 1 primary color. You're going to choose 1 primary color for this upper row, and you're going to use a secondary color for the bottom value scale. And up at the top, it clearly says what you need to add to the color to create a 5-step value scale. So you're going to add white to the 2 boxes on the left, and you're going to paint the pure color in the middle, and you're going to add a little bit of black to this box and a little bit more black to the last box. On your magazine, we lay out the colors up at the top or on one edge of your magazine so that it gives you a lot of room to mix. We call this the well in painting. This is where you mix your colors. Okay, so we're always going to start off with the light when we mix. So here it says use 2 dabs of white and a little bit of the color. So I'm going to take 1, 2, And then I'm going to choose to use red for my primary color. So all I need is a teeny little crumb of this color to make this into a tint of red. And I want this to be as light as possible. These are pastels. These are very light values. And once you mix it up, you mix it with the point of the palette knife, and you keep it all in one small little pile so that it doesn't dry out on you. And then you can let your palette knife hang out in the cup. You can wet your brush. You don't really need to. Tempera paint is already very liquidy, but it does help to make your paint flow off the brush by wetting it a tiny bit. And then you're going to pick up a little paint, and we only put paint on the bristles. There's no need to put paint here because there's no way this paint that's on the ferrule is going to get onto your paper. So just keep it on the bristles, and you're going to paint in this step, nice, carefully filling in the entire box. Paint your entire box just like this. Okay? And then for the next one, after you paint that in, all you do is you add a tiny bit more red, one little more crumb to this color. Okay? And that will change that value just enough for you to show the next step in the value scale. Okay? And so you're going to paint it in. Okay? It should dry a little bit darker than your first value, okay, to show that next step. This is going to be the pure color. So you're just going to paint in straight from the container your red, your blue, or your yellow. Okay, that's going to be painted in solidly like this. On the other side, we're going to add black to the color. So when we make dark values, like shades, we start off with the hue, with this color. We're going to start off with like a good amount so that we have enough for the second box. Again, if you need more paint, like if I'm running out here, I'm going to take more from my container and put it on my palette. Okay, then one small little dab of black, just to slightly change this. This is really cool. If you want to paint skin tones, all you need is white, yellow, red, and black. That's all you need. And then you paint in this dark value. This value here should be darker than this. So all you do is add a little bit more black, and you can do it with your paintbrush if you want. Some people like to mix with their paintbrush. That's fine. The objective is that this looks darker than this one. So then you'll have a complete value scale there. Color. Now you're going to mix a secondary color. Okay, so when you mix a secondary color, you always start with the lighter color first. So I'm going to make green. The lighter color we use to make green is yellow. So I'm going to start off with a lot of yellow so that I have enough green. I'm going to pick up some, put it in the well. And this blue is so strong, you don't need a lot of blue to make this a green, like the way we see it on the color wheel. You just need a teeny little dot of blue, and it will quickly change this into your typical green on the color wheel. This kind of looks a little more yellow-green, so I'm going to add a teeny bit more blue just to make it a little bit darker. Okay, once you make your green, then you can start again. You're going to start off with white, and you're going to add a tiny dot of green to your white, just a small amount. And just like you did the value scale on the top, you're going to add a little bit more green to make it a step darker. And then this is going to be the pure color, just like this one. So a little bit of green and white, a little bit more green. This is pure green. This is the green and a little bit of black, and then green with more black. Okay, this is, we're doing this to practice expanding these primary colors. This is going to show you that all you need to make all the colors that you see are the primaries and white and black. Okay, everybody, we're gonna go over how we clean up. We are all gonna clean up at the transfer bell. That is a non-negotiable. So when you hear the transfer bell, everybody needs to find a good place to stop and be ready to start cleaning up. The first thing that you're gonna do is you're going to take, your table manager is gonna help out with this. You're gonna take your magazine and you're going to, I like to fold mine up, fold it, and you might have to take a couple of sheets so that the paint doesn't ooze all over the place. You're gonna cut that off and you're gonna throw it in the garbage. You're also gonna throw away your dirty paper towels. These magazines get put back into the magazine pallet bin, nice and clean. All of your paint containers, they need to be closed. Double check that everything is closed off. Also take a quick peek, see if there's any other colors that shouldn't be in the paint before you leave. At the end of the period, the table managers are going to take all of the dirty brushes from the group and drop them into the hot tub. They're going to be there for TAs or the teacher to wash out.